Good day everyone, our topic for today is all about z-test for single proportion. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button for more updates. In solving the z-test for single proportion, we need this critical region in testing hypothesis on z-test. So we have this critical region, one-tailed and two-tailed, and with the alpha 0.05, 0.01, and 0.10. On the other hand, these numbers are what we call the critical value. And it depends if you will get one-tailed and 0.05, or it depends on your alpha, and it depends on the number of tailed you will get based from your problem. And remember that it is applicable only if the number of population is greater than or equal to 30. The formula for the single proportion is Z equals P hat minus P over square root of P quantity 1 minus P over N, where P hat is the sample proportion and P is the population proportion. On the other hand, 1 minus P is also equal to Q. If you still remember the population proportion P of the margin of error, okay, or the class interval that I've discussed in our previous video. Now, let's have example 1. A barangay captain claims that at least 95% of the residents in his barangay have household pets. To test this claim, a researcher randomly selected a sample of 440 residents and found that 395 of them do not have household pets. At alpha equals 0.10 level of significance, what can you conclude? So we will do the stepwise method. So for step 1, we need to create the hypothesis. Now, first, find the question. The question is what can you conclude? The question is not complete, therefore we need to find the claim. And the claim is the barangay captain claims that at least 95% of the residents in his barangay have household pets. So the word at least will be our clue if this statement will be put rather in the null hypothesis or alternative hypothesis. So since the word is at least 95% and at least is the clue for the alternative hypothesis, therefore our statement in the given problem is what we call the alternative hypothesis. A barangay captain claims that at least 95% of the residents in his barangay have household pets. Now, what is the null hypothesis for this? So the barangay captain claims that 95% of the residents in his barangay have household pets. Meaning to say, you will just delete or erase the word at least or make it an equal. No? So it can be a barangay captain claims that there is an equal of 95% of his residents in his barangay that have household pets. So we have now the HO and the HA. The second step is determine the critical value. To determine the critical value, we need the following requirements, the alpha and the tail. The tail is based from the alternative hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis, if you still remember, is at least. So therefore, it is directional. So the alpha here is very obvious. The alpha in our problem is 0.10. So that's our alpha. For the tail, since the word, the clue is at least, right? There is a word at least. So it means it is directional. So when you are talking about directional, it is one-tailed. For the critical value, we will look for the critical region that I presented to you a while ago. Okay, so looking to the one-tailed and 0.10, the critical value there is positive negative 1.28. Okay, so this is now our critical value that we will be gonna compare to our solved Z or single proportion after this. So let's proceed to step number 3. For step 3, you need to write the P, P hat, and N. Okay, so for the P, we have 95% or 0.95. So turn into decimal form. For the P hat, if you still remember the proportion, it has a formula x over n. So for the x, we have a total of 395 uh, residents versus 440 residents who has 398 household pets. So wala ito, okay? Sinasabi lang niya na yung 395 ay may 390, maybe yung tatlo doon, meron siyang tigda dalawang pets. Okay, so 440 will be the n and 395 will be the x. So divided 2, you will get 0.8977. Okay, so your final answer should be in the form of 4 decimal places. And for the n, we have a total of 440 na yung sinabi ko dito at yan. Now, we can now put the given in our formula. So we have p hat minus p over square root of p quantity 1 minus p over n. I mean square root. Okay, so just put the given to the formula and then subtract 0.8977 minus 0.95 and then you will get negative 0.0523. For this one naman, if you are just using a cell phone, maybe you can do 0.95 open parenthesis 1 minus 0.95 close parenthesis, then click equals. Your answer will be divided to 440, then click equals. After clicking equals, on the first part of your answer, put a square root. Okay, and then click equals and you will get 0.0104. Round off your answer to the nearest 10,000s or 4 decimal places. I repeat, 0.95 open parenthesis, 1 minus 0.95 close parenthesis, then click equals. Then divide to 440, then click equals. On your answer, put a square root in the first portion and then click equals and you will get 0.0104. Divide the 2, you will get negative 5.03. From this answer, okay, let's compare our critical region. So, the critical region that we have is positive negative 1.28. Kapag nasa loob siya, we will accept HO. Pag nasa labas, we will accept HA. So, ang ating answer is negative 5.03. Therefore, we will accept HA and therefore reject HO. Again, tandaan natin kung anong in-accept natin. Ang na-accept natin is HA. Therefore, balik tayo sa step 1. Ano ang ating statement sa step 1? Ang statement natin is a barangay captain claims that at least 95% of the residents in his barangay have household pets, and that will be our conclusion. Okay, to understand it better, let's have example number 2. An e-commerce research company claims that 60% of graduate students have brought merchandise online. So, naniniwala daw yung mga e-commerce researcher na sa company nila, 60% ng mga nag-graduate na students ay nagtitinda online. So to test this claim, a random sample of 80 graduate students showed that only 22 students have ever done so. Is there enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60%? Test at alpha equals 0.10 level of significance. Alright, for this one, first determine what is the statement or what is the question. So the question is there enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60%? So you can create many statement there. So it can be there is enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60% or there is enough evidence to show that the true proportion is not 60%. Pwedeng ganon. So for the statement, yung positive, there is enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60% and that is HO. There is not enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60% and that is HA. Okay, again for our HA, not enough. So from the word not enough and the linking verb is, so it is obvious that our HA is non-directional. Okay, so we will use this in two-tailed or one-tailed. So the answer is two-tailed. Two-tailed yung ating given statement. So our alpha is 0.10, our tailed is two-tailed. So where did I get 0.10? It is given in the problem. Alpha equals 0.10. So using the critical region value, we will get the critical value of 1.645 or positive negative 1.645. Okay, now let's proceed to step number 3. The P is equal to 60% or 0.60 graduates. That's the total, that is the given, or that's the claim. The P hat will be X divide N. Our X here is very obvious, 22 students, these are the given, and the sample population is 80, that's the letter N. So we have 22 divide 18, the answer is 0.275. The total number of N is obviously 80. Put it in the formula, so we will have this one. Okay, so divide 0.275 minus 0.16, you will get this one as your answer. I think this is 0.325. Okay, for this one, 0.60, quantity 1 minus 0.60 over 80. Then your answer will be square rooted, so you will get 0.0548. Divide the 2, and your answer will be negative 5.93. Okay, that will be your answer, or your final answer for the Z single proportion. Now let's compare your answer. Our critical value is positive negative 1.645. If it is inside, accept HO. If it is outside, accept HA. Our computed value is negative 5.93. Therefore, accept HA, reject HO. Again, go back to the step 1. What is our statement in HA? And the answer is there is not enough evidence, or there is no enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60%. And actually, that's obvious. There is no 60% in 22 and 80, right? So using statistical treatment, we can solve, or we can prove that proposition, that there is not enough evidence to show that the true proportion is 60%. So that's all about for the z-test single proportion. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the bell button for more updates. Thank you and bye.